And you also have one-on-ones where people get to ask you questions about the project and about your future plans. Well, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so we have to get a little creative and dynamic and be responsive to, the environment that we're working with. So we decided to do a one-on-one with you guys today via video camera. And because the lender on a project is so important, I wanted to have Mrs. Watchen Bruce here first, talk a little bit about BCL, Baltimore Community Lending, and their vision and their mission.
Well, it's an honor to be here. First, thank you very much for inviting us. And this is first congratulations, because there were a lot of challenges, but where there's challenges, there's opportunities. And we see this as opportunity to showcase the before and after, because we know what you've been through, so I want to congratulate you on your team. And Baltimore Community Lending mission is to focus on revitalizing properties in the Baltimore neighborhood. And this is an example of what we do. The financing, of course, is one piece which is important, but it's the relationship, making sure that the community see the end product as somewhere that they want to live, and it will create home ownership opportunities for stabilization. And so this is a beautiful project, because without your firm or your company, this wouldn't have happened. So we look forward to doing more with you. Our goal is to make sure that we have the resources for developers like you, who are working on revitalizing homes on block by block, because that's the only way Baltimore is going to be transformed. It takes the small to medium-sized developers like you who would take the risk to do these. It's not easy doing these type of projects, but with persistence and the right type of financing, you will realize your goal. So I'm very pleased that we participated in this development, because we can see that we are doing what our mission is all about, which is renovating homes in disadvantaged communities, one house at a time, but transforming the communities to make it more livable and creating affordable home ownership. That's what it's all about. So thank you.
Well, thank you. So the selection of a lender was important to me, because certainly there were lots of options out there. I decided to go with Baltimore Community Lending because when I met with your staff, in addition to providing funds, you guys were entrenched into the community, and it seemed like you shared the same vision of development, doing diversity and mixed use, and also having affordable housing, something that's going to uplift Baltimore. And you made connections for me with other developers and other people in the community that are valuable to me in that sense. So having you as a partner from the very beginning to now, right, has certainly been instrumental and essential.
Well, I'm glad you selected BCL, because we are a different type of lender. We are a mission-based lender, and of course, we are a community development financial institution. People normally forget about the CD in CDFI, the community development, which is important, the focus on the financial institution part. Of course, we're a financial institution, but for us, the focus is community development. So being a CDFI, our focus is, even if we can't get you what you need at the time, we will build up a relationship with you, as well as give you technical assistance. Make sure you are part of our network. We don't want it to be just a transaction. We want it to be a long-term relationship. So it's like, after you complete this whole street, we want to know what's the next block. So it's block by block and block. So we work with a lot of developers that we appreciate, and we look forward to working, especially with minority developers, because it will take people from Baltimore to develop our community. It's not going to take outsiders. In order to attract external developers and investors, it starts from within. So we are proud of you all that you are doing what you want to do to help the city put this property back on the tax roll, as well as giving a decent, affordable housing that anyone wants to live in. I could live in this house myself. So the end product should be something that we are all proud of, that we can live in. So we look forward to working with you long term and also providing you any kind of technical assistance that you need, but also making sure you have the resources you need to do more development.
Yeah, and certainly through this project, I'll tell you that I developed a lot of contacts, right? So the next project, I'll kind of know who to go to, and still be developing and creating new contacts. But I will say one thing you said that struck with me was pride. So in this project, as a developer, especially my inaugural project, I wanted to create something that an owner would be proud of, but yet be affordable, right? Because the whole purpose is not to displace, is to bring people who are already in the community, give them something that they can live in, and also invite diversity. So when I did this, I did simple luxury. That's my thing. So little things that will slightly surprise you, but still let it be affordable. The other thing is Baltimore has a lot of incentives for buyers. And I wanted to tap into those incentives because you'll be able to get more house for your money, and that then strikes the affordability. So my inaugural products, we made sure we tapped into the shack credits. So someone buying this property for the next 10 years only paying $550 a year in taxes versus the $5,500 they'd be paying if we hadn't, as the developer, invested in that. So that therefore makes them be able to afford more house for less money. And then we also did Maryland Historical Trust because the character of these houses, Oliver and this street in particular, it is historic. So you want to maintain that character and that nature, but at the same time making it modern. And whoever buys this home that we're sitting in today, right off the bat, they're going to get $20,000 credit.
That's very good. And preservation is so important to stabilization, because you can still stabilize without displacing people or gentrifying the neighborhood. I've worked in Boston for many years, and Boston's a city, it's very beautiful, older stuff like Baltimore, but a lot of people were displaced because of gentrification. The housing was redone. Developers came, built high-end condos where the locals could not afford it. They had to move out. But I mean, Baltimore is great. There's a lot of opportunities to still have decent, affordable housing without displacement and gentrification. But the developers have to be intentional about that. It cannot be because, of course, you want to make your profit, but you don't want to displace people. But you have to make that as part of your business plan and be very intentional what you're doing to make sure that you stabilize the neighborhood. And that's what we look for. We look for developers who are also thinking about the social aspect. You want to have profit, purpose, of course, but also the social aspect. So your purpose should be to not displace, but provide affordable, but also for profitability.
And have that pride that you just talked about earlier.
Yes, the pride,
The other component that you had, that we didn't talk about, was like all the employment that gets generated when you're doing development, right?
Exactly.
So, certainly on this project, we were able to employ lots of different companies that are all local to Baltimore, right? So that's creating, increasing the economy and creates
the whole ecosystem. That's very good. So in terms of how many houses do you have on the street right now?
Currently two homes on my house, or on this street, not in my house, but homes on the street. And my inaugural project. So it's like testing the waters, but then the next product will be like one of the other developers where we're doing blocks at a time.
Right, great.
I now have some people that can help me identify the right blocks. So we'll be working on that. But
that's good.
I like the Oliver community certainly because of the historic feel, and there's lots of good revitalization going on here. So it's all kind of a harmony.
Right, and whenever you develop one house, one or two, on the street, you see the impact of existing homeowners who start renovating their homes. So the transformation starts with one or two houses on the street. Then you can see the impact of that neighborhood. And we look up, for us, success is the impact
Yeah.
on the properties, the neighborhood, and not only that, the value of the homes. Because eventually, once you do appraisal, after, you will see that the value will increase because of the investment.
Yeah.
And that not only, it also helps the city, but it helps other properties on the street
Yes.
where you can have a good appraisal, have homes. But that's one of the biggest problems in Baltimore right now. You cannot get a good properties that are because of vacant houses on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with this going, that will eliminate that problem for values.
Yeah. We only have 2 more on this block, right? That and there's one in progress now being
Okay,
developed.
good.
So really, it's one more. So you see it all around. It's developed. So.
Okay, great. And this is a beautiful neighborhood. It has a lot of structure, historic preservation. And it's well kept.
And location too. So we're less than, I shouldn't say less. We're about a mile from John Hopkins, and we're less than a mile and a half from Amtrak. So
Okay,
it's a great walkability
So it's
score.
accessible.
Yeah, very accessible location.
Okay, great.
So I mean, I think we've kind of covered everything from start to finish. The next project, when it does come online, we'll be happy to announce it. But
Okay, great.
thank you very much, Watchen, for
Right,
joining
but
me.
thank you for inviting us, and we are honored to be here. The loan officer is here also, Dietrich, and of course our construction specialist, Ned, was here.
Yes.
So the whole team is with you,
Yes,
and
very
we are
supportive.
part of you. Whatever you are doing, we are here to celebrate with you. And we
I wish we could celebrate the before pre-COVID. It
Yeah,
was more
well,
fun,
you
but
know.
we're doing good here, right?
Yeah, that's why we are managing the best way we can, even through this time. That too shall come to pass.
Yeah.
But for now, we are managing the best way we can. At least you didn't stop construction.
Yeah.
You continue working. This, even during the heat of the COVID-19, which is good. So just keep up the good work, and we are here to support you with whatever you need in terms of contacts, technical assistance, and of course financing for the next one.
Thank you.
Congratulations again to you and your team.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.